So my whole life, I pretty much grew up like having the perfect life. I had great parents that were always there for me, and a great sister, and my family was really close, and my parents really instilled in me and my sister that God always came first, before family, before friends, before anything, and that we needed to fully rely on Him for everything. And I always understood that, but I guess my life was pretty much perfect. I mean, there was stuff that would go wrong, but it was never anything that I felt that I had to fully rely on God and that I needed to give up to God because I felt like I could handle it myself. And July 10th, 2010, last year, is when everything changed. It started out as a normal day. I had my senior pictures, and my mom was coming with me to take them. And I left that morning. I saw my dad when I left, just gave him a normal, "Bye Dad, love you, see you later." And after my senior pictures, I came home to take a nap, and my sister woke me up screaming, saying, "Lauren, Dad had a heart attack, Dad had a heart attack." And I remember just jumping up, my mind was racing, and the first thing I thought of was, okay, I gotta call my mom and see what I need to do. So I called my mom, and my mom was crying, and she just said that we need to meet her at this hospital. So that's when I realized, of course, I didn't have any gas in my car, so I called my best friend at the time, who had just gotten home from a 7-on-7 tournament. It was God's perfect timing, and he and his mother came and picked us up. And I just remember the whole time on the way to the hospital just praying, "God, please, just please show me you're here, please, this is something I know I can't handle on my own, I need you." And I knew something wasn't right. I just knew that my prayer might have not been answered in the way that I wanted it to. But I knew everything was going to be okay because God was with me. And I still had hope when we got to the hospital. Of course, no one wants to think for the worst. We always want to hope for the best. And me and my sister walked in, and we were pulled into the inner part of the hospital while our friends waited on the outside. And we saw my mom, and we were just kind of waiting around for the doctors. And finally, one of them came and pulled us into a side room and shut the door. And I knew right then, there was no doubt that it wasn't going to be good. And the doctor just told us what happened. He just said that he was so sorry and there was nothing we could do. And right then, everything came out. I didn't even think to rely on God right then when I heard that. I just ran out of the room. I remember falling on the floor, just bawling, and I couldn't even get up. And my best friend picked me up and carried me in the room, and I just remember crying with him, my mom, everyone. And it's so weird when I think about it now because it's such a blur, because you barely remember anything. But I remember very strongly sitting out in the waiting room and just friends after friends, people I haven't seen in years, just coming by and just showing us that they cared. The hardest part for me for sure was going into the room and seeing my dad laying there. And that's when I really came to God, and I just was, why God, why? But God answered me right there. It didn't even hesitate to say that it was all going to be okay and that He had a plan for this. I just remember holding on to my dad's hands and just not wanting to let him go, but knowing that I had to and that it was all going to be okay. I walked out of the room and I saw my old youth pastor who I hadn't seen in years, and I just ran up to him and we just cried together so loudly, and it felt good almost just to let everything out. Honestly, after that happened, I could say I was scared about some things, but God's peace was amazing. And for me, never really having to rely on anything before, not feeling like I had to, and for God just to show me that He's always there and that He always was there, it was a feeling I just can't describe. And from then on, I knew that God's the only way that we can find happiness. He's truly the only person that can comfort us when we need it, and His plan is always better, even though we might not realize it and it might feel like nothing's ever going to get better. It truly is. I'm Lauren Greenwood, and I'm